3 and bust up his ribs. He didn't even want to watch tapes of his opponent tonight. He's so sure. He talked about putting $50,000 up. How about this? The president-elect of Costa Rica guaranteed him $100,000 if his promise comes true of 3 or less. Promoter Don King said he'd throw in a Corvette. Mayorga is getting in the way of Lewis here. He's trying to block Lewis from getting into the ring. Unbelievable.
Playing a little sight game.
Yeah. Well, Lewis finally makes it in. Mayorga not only trying to block Lewis from getting into the ring, he once told us he knocked down a horse. Remember that?
But the horse got up at 4.
Horse got up at 4. And he did it with his left hand, not his right. What is your take on this guy and all the trash talk?
You know what, Steve? He just thinks that's what he thinks. He said, it's just pretty simple. I'm not trying to hype the fight. I'm not trying to scare him. It's what I think. I'm telling you what I think. He's a fighter. He's entitled to his opinion. He's supremely confident to the point it's almost annoying. But you know what? He's talked the talk. Now he's got to walk the walk. He's got to back it up.
Annoying to you or annoying to Lewis?
To everybody.
Well, there is a lot of jawing going on for a virtually untested underdog. And for the record, Lewis promised to shut Mayorga's mouth. All right, let's talk about Lewis now. Also extremely confident. He feels he had distractions prior to the first fight with Mayorga, all contributing to problems, perhaps a byproduct of his newfound stardom, particularly in his home area of Guyana. He's an awkward southpaw who fought his way out of the ghettos of Guyana, now living in Brooklyn. After his decisive victory over Page, get this, about 300,000 greeted him at the Guyanan airport when he became champ. That's almost half the entire population. A 92 Olympian who's yet to lose in 22 fights in the pros, 19 knockouts, serious power, questionable chin. A true rags to riches story, but some feel a champion who's beatable.
You know what, after speaking with him, he seems like a really nice guy, but he also takes his trade very, very, very hard and very carefully. He treats it with a great deal of respect. He loves his title. He works as hard as anyone. He's had some personal distractions with the stardom and the fame in such a small country. But you know what? Tonight he faces a really aggressive, really confident guy. He's going to show us who the real Andy Lewis is, because there are times in his first defense he really didn't look well at all.
Right. He feels he's back to where he was prior to the James Page fight with all the distractions, he says, behind. Let's size him up as we check out the tail of the tape. Lewis just 3 years older. Height and reach nearly even. Again, 2 weigh-ins for title fights in Pennsylvania this morning. Lewis 152.5. Mayorga 154.5. Again, if you're 10 pounds more than the first time and you win, the title becomes vacant, but they made it, so that's academic. Key rules: no standing 8, no 3 knockdown. A fighter can't be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th, the fighters rule a technical draw. That sounds familiar. If it happens after the end of the 4th, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Sovereign Center in Reading, PA, getting set for the main event, 6 heads Lewis and Ricardo Mayorga for the WBA welterweight crown. The official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to our featured bout of the evening here at the Sovereign Center in Reading, Pennsylvania. Tonight's action, ladies and gentlemen, once again brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Showtime and the undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This world title bout, ladies and gentlemen, is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, the president Gilberto Mendoza, the supervisor Jose Olivar Gomez, along with the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission with the executive director Greg Serb. Our timekeeper at the bell is Jimmy Mina, keeping count of the knockdowns, John Carroll. And at this time, I introduce to you our 3 judges scoring the bout from ringside. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lynn Carter. Also from Philadelphia, Robert Grasso. And from Panama City, Panama, Guillermo Perez. And the third man to the ring, our referee in charge of this bout. He is working in this, his 98th world title bout, Rudy Battle. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing and a rematch for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Reading, Pennsylvania, it is showtime. Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left. He is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim. He is fighting out of San Jose, Costa Rica, by way of Managua, Nicaragua. His weight, a trim and ready 145 3/4 pounds. His record stands at 22 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest, with 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the Latin American champion and the WBA #1 ranked welterweight contender, introducing tonight's explosive challenger, Ricardo, El Matador Mayorga. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trunks with blue trim, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, by way of Georgetown, Guyana. His weight at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds, undefeated at 21 wins, no losses, 1 no contest, with 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the 3rd defense of his title. Please welcome Guyana's first world champion, the hard-hitting and undefeated WBA welterweight champion of the world, introducing Andrew Six Heads Lewis. And once again, a referee in charge, Rudy Battle.
Okay, gentlemen, there's a language barrier. We'll be using the 3 basic commands: stop, break, box. I want a nice, clean contest. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Mayorga didn't want to touch gloves there. You saw that. And Mayorga showing his early defense even before the opening bell. Check this out as he's trying to restrict Lewis from getting into the ring. He's blocking the belt and Lewis. Only in boxing.
Well, he walks the walk. Now he's going to see if he can talk the talk. If he talks the talk, we'll see if he can walk the walk.
Well, the southpaw Lewis expects Mayorga to start the same exact way as the first fight, with a wild, swinging, all-out attack. But so far, it's more of a tame Mayorga. This time, Lewis says if Mayorga does what he did in the first fight, he's ready. He won't fight fire with fire as he did in the first fight. That he'll box and move and not stand in front of Mayorga. But here comes Mayorga opening up.
Keep him up in there.
Took him about 15 seconds.
Lewis came out stepping with the jab, something I thought he might adjust watching the tape of the first fight. But I'll tell you what, he's got to step to the side because he's getting hit pretty clean right now.
Mayorga with the attack. And again, the heads come perilously close. Lewis, a skillful boxer, throws a lot of punches, has power, looks for the openings, but Mayorga just won't give him a chance to breathe.
You see that flicking right hand, the jab of Lewis. He's not really looking to hurt or even do harm, just put it in the way so he can block anything that's coming from Mayorga and set up his other power combination.
Mayorga, like Page, really has no real style. I mean, he just comes right at you. The champion, Lewis, is much more refined, and again, nearly a collision of heads. As Mayorga briskly turned his head to avoid it. Lewis, a good counter puncher, basically, as I mentioned, more style. The jury is still out, though, on Lewis's chin.
Break. Stop holding. No holding.
He's guarding it pretty well. Rudy Battle, he just got hit. Lewis got hit pretty good, but reacted well. Rudy Battle addressed the holding to Mayorga, who's not holding. It's Lewis.
Back comes Lewis. Mayorga, while not as good a boxer as Lewis, may be more heavy-handed, particularly because of his knuckles. Did you see those knuckles? They're nasty looking.
He has some very big knuckles.
And there, the knuckles off the temple of Lewis. Nice left hook by Mayorga. A key here could be for Lewis to take Mayorga deep or even just to the middle rounds.
It'll be interesting to see how he can wing punches come around 7 or 8. He starts missing something.
If it gets that far, Lewis's high punch count and steady attack and his countering and his hand speed could wear Mayorga down. Mayorga hasn't been deep many times. So I'm sure that's part of Lewis's game plan. But Lewis is getting tagged.
I'll tell you what, as far as clean punches landed in this round, Mayorga certainly landed more clean punches, but still a very, very close round.
Well, Mayorga certainly not disappointing. He comes out with a wild attack as predicted. All right, let's get the keys to victory for this fight from Bobby Chen.
Andrew Six Heads Lewis, establish the jab. This will help neutralize Mayorga's swarming style. Imperative. Also box smart and counterpunch. You know Mayorga's coming. Make him miss, then make him pay for it. And lastly, his best punch is his straight left hand. As a southpaw, it's a terrific weapon. He's got to use it as often as he can. For Mayorga, obviously keep the pressure on. He has a very active style, throws a lot of punches. This will behoove him. Also work the body. It'll help slow down Lewis's legs and his punches. And lastly, overhand right. He's got a pretty good power in that. It's his best weapon, and against the southpaw, it should be pretty effective.
Lewis comes dancing out. The bell didn't ring yet. Mayorga comes bursting out of his corner as well. You talk about two guys who are a bit anxious here. Round 2, scheduled for 12 for the WBA welterweight title. No love lost. I realize an overused cliche in sports, but that is really the case here between these two fighters.
You notice the first round, Lewis came out being the aggressor, and it wound up being the other way. Here he starts out similarly, but I got a feeling he's going to turn real quick.
But this is the kind of fight Mayorga wants, right? He wants to induce Lewis into a brawl, a slugfest, a street fight.
Lewis is trying to do something that is semi-dangerous, semi-smart. Come in, throw some punches, and then hold. Do the hitting first, then hold. Not give Mayorga a chance to counterpunch him, which I don't think is really going to behoove him. It's just not the right style for
and
his
almost
fighter.
On cue, we saw it just a second ago.
I think you should do that. Jab, step to the right, and then counter. Make Mayorga miss and make him pay. Bang him with overhand left.
Mayorga again just swinging away, winging. And some of those punches he figures will get through.
Step out. Step back.
There's that flicking jab, but it's getting Lewis nowhere.
He's just using it to get in, tap a couple of points, maybe land left and hold. He's not trying to use it as a power jab or even a lot of points, just getting it in the face of
Mayorga is just basically trying to disorient Lewis. And so far, it seems to be working. He's just trying to take Lewis out of his usual game, which is box and move.
Step back, man.
Oh, a good right hand to the chin by Mayorga.
Stop holding. Stop holding. Right down. Let him go. Let him go.
Rudy Battle, the third man of the ring, certainly has his hands full here.
It's going to be a wrestling match for Rudy just to get them to break.
Mayorga says, come on, bring it on. Six Heads.
Let him go.
Six Heads is moving in so quickly with his feet. He's not really setting, not showing a lot of power as he switches orthodox just for a minute there.
The pace has slowed just a tad here in round 2. And Lewis comes barging forward. Right uppercut to the chin by Lewis on the inside. Lewis now beginning to open up more. A straight left hand by Lewis.
Much better round for Lewis.
He's nailing Mayorga upstairs.
And he's making him miss, stepping to the side and counter-punching well.
No punching.
Most of those punches landing by the champion. Straight right hand to the head by Mayorga.
He hurt the champion.
Boy, that stunned Six Heads Lewis. That stopped him in his tracks. Final seconds of an action-packed second round. And a slapping right
Let him go. Stop punching.
That's exactly what that was, a slap.
And a brash Mayorga takes his seat. Iris Violeta, our interpreter.
What is? It's okay. Look, you have. Let's say this again. Is in the head. And you touch him already, but I want you to work more. Okay.
Oh. There you saw Lewis just cleaning up on Mayorga on the ropes. Mayorga just dropping his hands as if he didn't care. Mayorga coming back at the end of the round with a nice right hand right on the button. It seemed to wobble the champion just for a split second.
Hector Perez and Al Bonani urging Mayorga on. And here we go into round 3, coming off a very active second round.
I don't want to say that I think I feel safe to say the fight goes at least 3, Steve.
Well, Mayorga guaranteed that he would stop or knock out Lewis within 3.
Well, he just hurt him.
And if so, he'd get $100,000 from the president-elect of Costa Rica and a new yellow Corvette from promoter Don King. So he's got a little more incentive riding on this than just the championship.
Lewis is playing around a little bit and not doing anything very effective. Some showmanship, I guess. Maybe getting himself psyched up, but not really doing anything that counts.
The old expression, styles make fights. Well, thus far, the champion Lewis just hasn't been able to figure out this wild style of Mayorga. Just landed a right to the temple.
My trainer Tommy Parks used to say sometimes a junk fighter is harder to fight than a really good fighter because he throws punches from angles that he makes up as he goes along. You don't know how to counter a box or block because everything's just coming at you from an angle you're not used to. Sometimes very difficult to fight.
Both very awkward to each other. And I think Mayorga may be more awkward to Lewis than Lewis is to Mayorga. There's a left uppercut to the chin as he was rolling back by Mayorga. Mayorga supremely confident. Lewis with that jab. Let's see if it sets up his power punch to the left. He actually put Page down with a right hand, not his power punch, in the 7th round that ended the fight to win the title. Page was waiting for the peppering jab, and he never saw the big shot coming.
Right now, Mayorga's backing up. When Mayorga's backing up, he cannot be effective with the style that he has.
Now he's got, Lewis has Mayorga on the rope. Mayorga looks like he's slowed down a little bit here, a little tired. But now he invites Lewis in. Lewis at a huge distance. Lewis just comes barreling in. Here comes Mayorga again, turning it up. The crowd behind Mayorga. Big Spanish population here in this area in Reading. Lewis from Guyana, which is a tiny country in South America. Left hook to the head by Mayorga, and they come close again. Lewis from Georgetown.
I break. Let him go. Let him go. Step out. Corner.
Well, that was a nasty round.
Nice and relaxed, though. Keep breathing.
Don't fall into his little game.
Who are you? Who are you, brother?
You're the world champion, brother.
All right, let me get some more boxing out there. Don't fall into his game plan. Let him come after you, Six. You got the belt.
He's swimming out there into deeper waters, brother. Then we're going to get him.
Great.
You watch here as the champion, as Lewis is coming forward this way, Mayorga's going to grab him behind his head, hook his hand here, and then throw a left uppercut to his chin, technically illegal. Okay, you see the hand? See the hand here? Now he's going to hold his head and whip a left uppercut up here, technically a foul. And his best punch of the round by coincidence.
Again, both chomping at the bit to begin the next round. It's round 4. You may have heard Nelson Fernandez in the corner of Six Edge Lewis telling him, you're falling into his game. And we've been saying this all along. And reminder, Six-Heads Lewis falling into Mayorga's trap once again.
Well, I think it's not necessarily that he's falling into his trap. He's got a lot of attitude, and it's a little bit of a macho thing. He's fighting back, but what he's trying to do is fight his way in and then hold. Now, technically, fighting his way in might be part of the game plan that Mayorga wants, but
a left uppercut followed by a straight right by Mayorga. Terrific combination that really rocked the champion.
He hurt the champion.
And a wild swing and a miss with a left hand by Lewis.
So you notice that the champion will just come at him as fast as he can and then hold. Throw a punch or two and then just hold right there. Flicks out that little jab, fires something so he can score and then hold.
Lewis looking a little perplexed here. He just cannot figure this guy out.
Work, Six, work!
Mayorga missing with 3 punches there.
Nothing even came close.
Lewis able to elude those.
Nice right hand on the way in. So there's the danger of fighting your way in the hold. On the way in, if you get caught, it could double the impact. And here's a wild right uppercut that almost landed.
Break. Let him go, let him go. Stop holding, stop holding. Wait, step back, step back, step back.
Boy, Mayorga takes a lot of chances, and keep in mind, Lewis is a very good counterpuncher, so he's really taking some risks, Mayorga.
But Lewis is showing
a heavy right hand by Mayorga to the temple.
Lewis is showing absolutely no power tonight. He's showing he's not sitting on any of the punches because he's so worried about getting caught up in the firepower of Mayorga that he's not punching at all.
And 19 of his 22 fights by knockout.
Break out, let him go.
A right uppercut to the chest by Mayorga. Back comes Lewis, but not a very powerful right hand to the jaw. It didn't really fade. Oh, look at this combination. A series of punches, and Mayorga says, okay.
That's what he needs to do. Throw a combination, make Mayorga miss and hit him again.
But it didn't even seem to faze Mayorga.
Mayorga just doesn't seem to care one way or another, Steve. He really doesn't.
Well, he is one tough guy. Again, some stinging lefts and rights to the head by Lewis. And Mayorga just shakes it off.
You know, James Page shook some of it off, but eventually attrition got to him. And what didn't appear to be a big right hand put him on the floor.
And Lewis took some good shots in that fight as well. But what we don't understand is why he had some bad moments against the journeyman named Larry Marks in his next fight. Oh, a right hand and a left hand by Mayorga to finish strong.
Finished the round strong, Steve, but I'm not sure it was enough to win the round.
Both of them on the head.
Take some water. You are doing good. He's not going to do too much. Okay. Who's going to be the champion? Who's going to be the world champion? Oh, another. Who's going to be the world champion? I am. Let's fight like a champion then.
Watch Mayorga try and land the big bombs. He's going to throw a left uppercut here that he's going to land very cleanly, really rocking the champion, and a left hook behind it. But he is very wild with some of the shots. Watch it later. Watch this right uppercut that grazes the top of his head. It just whistles past him. He means to go. He means to do damage. Now Lewis gets on track. Combinations, stepping around, another combination, and he'll come right back. And he would have hit him again, as Mayorga was allowing it. When he throws a nice combination, Lewis looks good. But he's so busy trying to hold on, Steve, that he doesn't throw a lot of combinations.
And Mayorga, oh, the heads came together again there, and Mayorga just trying not to give Lewis any chance to unleash those punches by being so active. But every once in a while, Lewis does get in good with some effective shots. Round 5, scheduled for 12 for the WBA Welterweight Championship. The champion is Six-Heads Lewis, who just got nailed with a straight right hand. It wasn't a solid shot, but it got the champion's attention.
And it looked like his legs buckled just a little bit.
That was more of a solid shot. A left hook and another left hook. Oh my goodness! Down goes Lewis on his back.
He's in trouble too.
5, 6, 7, 8.
He got up at around 6.
Huh? You want to continue?
No answer from Lewis. It's over. He never answered.
Well, it wasn't 3 rounds, it was 5.
It was 5. He predicted within 3. He'll settle for 5.
He
Lewis should still get the Corvette in the money.
Mayorga has taken the title away from Lewis. What a series of blows to the head of Six Heads Lewis. And Lewis loses for the first time, and he loses his title. He just never answered Rudy Battle when he said, "Do you want to continue?" His eyes were glazed, and he never responded to the referee. Battle gave him all the time he wanted, and Battle said, "That's it. I'm stopping the fight." And we have a new
I want to go back to what Rudy Battle said early. He said there's a language barrier. There'll only be 3 commands, and continue is not one of them.
Yeah, but the thing is, no barrier there because Lewis understands English perfectly. So the rematch goes to Mayorga. An upset. He didn't do it within 3 like he predicted, but he will take it. And it's embraces all around. The man who says my home is Costa Rica, originally from Nicaragua, has upset Andrew Six Heads Lewis. He wins his first world title, Mayorga, in this his second attempt. And goes to 23-3-1 with 21 knockouts. So the brash, arrogant, cocky, outspoken Ricardo Mayorga, you get the feeling we're going to hear a few things from this guy in the future, and I mean from his mouth.
Oh, I think the odds at about 100%.
Let's get it up to Larry quickly.
We have both sides here going at it. Don King and Nelson Fernandez went nose to nose. Don King now goes over to Andrew Six Heads Lewis. The bad blood certainly spilled over. It was building all week as Mayorga and Six Heads went at it verbally. And now it's unfolding in the ring right now as Mayorga takes the title. Steve, take it away.
All right, Larry. They put any battle pay in your contract? So there's Mayorga, who continues to celebrate with Hector Perez. We'll take a look at some of the pivotal action here in this fight that led to this 5th round TKO with a new champion.
Now we'll watch Mayorga on the left here is coming in. He winds up landing a right hand here, but he follows with a crisp left hook that really wobbles the legs of the champion. You watch him get a little shaky. Right hand comes in first. There's the right hand, and there's the hook. And you can see the legs get a little funny, and a follow-up right hand, and a combination all the way to the floor.
Those 2 ferocious right hands did the job.
You would take a look at it from overhead. You watch one right hand here, but this hook, that starts it. That right hand was much better, and that 3rd punch, the 2nd right hand, was really the coup de grace. One more time, we'll look at it from yet another angle. There's the right hand and a hook that starts it. That right hand really gets him in trouble, and that one helps push him to the floor.
And now the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 8 seconds in round number 5. Our referee in charge, Rudy Battle, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout. He is now the new WBA welterweight champion of the world, Ricardo El Matador Mayorga.
So another changing of the guard in the welterweight division within months. Vernon Forrest did it when he upset Shane Mosley for the WBC title. And now it's Ricardo Mayorga over Andrew Six Heads Lewis for the WBA. Let's get it up to Larry Michael.
All right, thank you, Steve. Six Heads, first time you've ever been down. How hurt were you?
No, but I just get hit and I went down, you know. But I find like it's I find like something biased. Like if you get knocked down, like people, the promoter would tell you like the referee stop the fight all their spot. When I see someone like that, me head was clear everything. When I get trapped, I was clear everything. But I really sorry to Top Rank that it really happened, you know, because you know Top Rank is a good promoter to me, and I'm really sorry about it really happened. But it's a bias thing right now, you know what I mean?
Six, are you saying you could have continued right then?
Yeah, I can continue. Yeah, man. Me head was clear everything. I was get up for fight again. But you know, but anyway, I'll be back. You know what I mean? I'll be back, no problem with it.
Can you say anything strategically that you could have done differently to change this result?
Yeah, I could have done different to change this result, but it just happened to win, and Hollywood said we thank the God that you know I still strong and healthy, you know. I mean, nothing bad happened to me, you know.
You're looking okay, Six. I want you to take a look at the monitor and see how this fight ended. Tell us what was going on. First punch was a right hand.
Yeah.
How tough is it for you to sit here and look at that?
I just look at it because why, you know, it's a mistake I make and I get caught, and what I got to do, I got to just go back to the gym and just, you know, train up and just correct my mistake, you know. I'll be back, man. If Shane get hurt, knock out, you know what I mean, I'll be back soon because why? Some fighter must get a bad day, you know. But I sorry to all my fans in Guyana, all in Brooklyn, New York, you know. I'll be all right, I'll be cool, I'll be back.
Is that the hardest you ever been hit, man?
Huh? Yeah, you can say something like that, but, you know, I take better than that anyway, you know what I mean?
All right, thanks, Six.
No problem, thank you.
Let's go back to Steve.
All right, Larry, the landscape continues to change at 147. And now we wonder what's in store in the future for the new champion, Ricardo Mayorga. Let's take a look at the judges' scorecards up to that point. Lynn Carter had it even, the same for Grasso, and Guillermo Perez had Mayorga ahead by a shade.
They're all right within reason. It was a real close fight. Not enough rounds in, but that was pretty close.
And Bobby, let's check out how the folks at Press Row had it. Dan Rafael, USA Today, had Lewis up by 2. Tim Smith, New York Daily News, had the same. And Don Stewart from the Reading Eagle had Mayorga ahead by 2.
That's a little confusing. My actual scorecard had Lewis ahead as well before he got knocked out. But in 1 point, again, 38-38, a 1 point swing is 39-37. So one close round, it cannot be, you know, you can't hem and haw over that. It's just not that big a deal.
Mayorga made it all a moot point anyway.
Yeah, it was good for us.
As he stopped the fight in round number 5 with a vicious series of blows to the head of Six Heads Lewis, to one of his 6 heads. Let's go up to Larry again.
I'll tell you what, we've got a new champion, Mayorga, El Matador. How happy are you right now?
¿Está feliz ahora?
Muy feliz, gracias a Dios y a Don King.
Thank you to God and especially to Don King.
Ricardo, you came in with a lot of confidence and you got the job done. What was the key to the victory?
Usted tenía mucha confidencia. ¿Qué es el principal de victoria?
La principal victoria, dile, me la llevo la oportunidad que Dios me mandó. Y la oportunidad que me mandó es Don King.
He said all he needed was the opportunity from God and Don King, and he was champion.
Your strategy you told us before was going to be come right at him. I guess that really worked, didn't it?
Su estrategia era que entra y más entra, y usted gana así.
Sí, dile de que no tuvieron la oportunidad de ver lo gran matador que soy, porque realmente el zurdo estaba un poco incómodo. Pero yo voy a tener la oportunidad de que ustedes me aprecien cuando yo pelee con un derecho.
He said he knew he had to come. Southpaw is very difficult, and again, you know, it was difficult, but he won with his force.
When during the fight did you know you had the power to knock him out?
Cuando usted sabía que usted puede noquear? En el primero, segundo, tercero.
Yo decía que en los primeros 2 lo noqueaba, pero se me incomodó un poquito y no quise desesperarme mucho para que no hubiera un accidente.
Okay. He says that he knew in the first and second round, but he was concerned about headbutts because he was headbutting excessively, and he wanted to make sure that it was a clean knockout and a clean victory.
Dile que le doy gracias a Dios y a este hombre que aquí está presente, que me dio la oportunidad para sacar a mi familia de la pobreza.
He says that he would like to thank God and Don King for this opportunity that he can go forward with his family and progress from poverty, you know.
Now, I understand you're going to get some money from your president, and you might also get a car.
Don King da un carro y su presidente de Costa Rica da un cosa a usted. Dinero.
Okay. Sí, está bien, claro que sí.
Dice que da.
Gracias.
No,
sí.
no. ¿Qué da Don?
Don para darme un regalo de un carro que yo siempre he querido tener, un Corvette.
He said Don bought him a yellow Corvette if he wins, so he's got his yellow Corvette. And Abel Pacheco, the president of Costa Rica, good luck to you, Abel. He's going to give him a house and some money for the victory.
Dile que mi apoderado Vega me prometió un reloj muy caro y muy fino.
And his manager says he's got a $1,500 watch that he's giving to him when he leaves the ring.
What is next? What is?
He wants it now. He wants his watch.
He's taking the watch right now, right off the man's hand. I can't believe this.
Yeah, we had the watch. We had the watch and the picture of the Corvette in the corner.
Okay, we got to find out what is next for him after this devastating victory.
We have to ask Don King. He's the man.
Don, what's next? What's next for this welterweight?
Take on. This is a special victory for me because this is the victory, good over evil. Here's a young kid that I brought out of Guyana and took care of him for 6 years, and we got to the title. James Page lost his mind. He defected because James Page lost his mind because he had a manager named Nelson Fernandez and run away. And so I just took it and didn't say nothing and just kept working. And I found God's child here who come and vindicated that, knocked him out, and now I don't want nothing ever to do with him. And I've never expressed any type of emotion about anything in the ring, about any fighter, because I think all fighters are great. But here's a guy that came in abject poverty, and I took care of him for 6 years. And then when James Page listened to that stuff, and now James Page is out of business. These guys forget where they come from. This kid didn't forget where he come from. He vindicated.
Thank you. Congratulations. El Matador is the new champion, Steve.
Thank you very much, Larry. And it's really interesting because when Rudy Battle got in the face of Six Heads Lewis, it appeared as if Lewis was not responding to the question, can you continue? Let's take a listen. Rudy Battle asked Six Heads Lewis 2 times, not once, and not only did he not say anything, he seemed to shake his head in negative fashion.
That's just it. He did. He shook his head no, as if to clear his head, but he was not answering. That is clear.
So Rudy Battle made the right call. Looking ahead, let's see what boxing coverage is coming up in the near future right here on Showtime.